Buongiorno, buon popolo. Thank you to everyone who supported the cabaret for Ukraine last weekend. We raised more than £1,600 in addition to the money raised at our initial appeal in February and early March and the Lent soup lunches. We are very grateful to Jane and her family who organised the cabaret and for all the entertainers, those who prepared and served food and who helped on the night to set up and clear away afterwards. It has been a great effort and a good example of how our parish seeks to serve the wider community, for as well as the money raised, it is also an important act of witness. Our church hall is a key resource in our being able to create this kind of opportunity, and as I flagged up in my Vicar's report at the annual meeting last week, I look forward to us being able to develop this key asset in our parochial life. I'm delighted that Elizabeth Brown and Joan Park have agreed to serve another year as church wardens. Their wisdom, unstinting support and practical help at every level of church life is much appreciated. Thank you to Jenny Germain, who is going to be our secretary for the coming year. And last week we said thank you very much to Doug Johnson as he stepped down after being our treasurer for 10 years, making a careful stewardship of the parish accounts. We have been well served by his careful management of our books. And I'm delighted to let you know that the PCC has elected Rachel Farrer as our treasurer for the coming year. Rachel is a chartered accountant and works for a housing charity and is well qualified to manage our finances, and we're very grateful to her for being willing to take on this responsibility. It's lovely news that Rachel is looking forward to getting married to Alex later this year. We have 2 other weddings in the diary for the autumn, as well as celebrating the marriage of another Rachel to Daniel just very recently. And I'm looking forward to finding ways in which we can offer even more encouragement to a generation of younger adults who choose to share their life's journey with us here at St. Francis. I hope also that we can put some resource into rebuilding our provision for families with young children and helping them to become part of our community. In the time that I've been here, I've seen a cadre of church children leave primary school, go through secondary school, and now as they're starting to go on to college and university, we've lost the energy and sparkle which young people bring into church life. Just this week, I was talking to 2 much older people who had been brought up here at St. Francis. They're committed churchgoers elsewhere, but both mentioned that they had drifted away during their teenage years. This is not an unusual phenomenon, but the challenge to a traditionally shaped church like St. Francis is how to create a sufficiently open threshold to people of whatever age or background, that they might feel able to become part of our life together. I believe profoundly that God calls people to their faith. It's impossible to argue or cajole, let alone entertain or impress a person into the religious life. And the one thing that will engage the interested visitor or curious child will be a sense of the real and authentic witness which they experience amongst us. That our actions are truly based on our faith, that our words match our confession that Jesus Christ is Lord, and that we have a life of prayer that is palpably open to the prompting of the Holy Spirit. In this regard, I think our work as an eco-church, as well as our work for social justice, and being a community that values people in their difference and diversity is crucial. This is the kind of life that I recognise in our patron St. Francis, who himself constantly wondered what Jesus Christ would say or do. And it is this kind of radical faith which will commend us to a new generation of believers. I hope that everyone reading watching or listening to this message will want to be a part of it.